Greetings and welcome to the channel. You are tuned in to the North Node Oracle, and in this pick a card reading, we're going to be tapping into what makes you intimidating. Now, remember, this reading is, it is through the eyes of someone else. So take what resonates and leave the rest. We're going to go ahead and go into pile one. Okay, what makes pile one intimidating? Okay, so the first card we have here is the Luminous Warrior. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is the Luminous Warrior. One of the reasons why people find you intimidating is because you come off with this very, very peaceful vibe. You come off very, maybe just love and light, and that's it. But what makes you intimidating is that even though people see this nice and peaceful exterior, they can sense this energy that surrounds you, that makes you a warrior, group one. And that is one of the things that makes you intimidating, is because even if you are, let's say, small in stature or soft-spoken, there is still an energy around you that transmit a don't with me vibe. Almost like you have been through things in this life, in this 3D, and seen things that some people could never dream of surviving. So that is one of the reasons why, or what makes you intimidating to people. Another thing that makes you intimidating to people is that even though you may have gone through a couple of things in your life where there may have been power struggles and you felt like you had a loss of power, what makes you intimidating is that you have gained this personal power and this courage. Or you are in the process of it. It's almost like you have this glow around you, this golden glow that you earned. You actually had to earn this by going out on the spiritual battlefield in some way. Group one. That is what makes you intimidating. We have Shaman of Purification and Dancer of Reconciliation. Another thing that makes you intimidating, group one, is mostly, and it's on this focus, this energetic focus of having this orb. If you can look at that, having this orb of personal power surrounding you. And that could make you intimidating to some people. Because if you look at this, they are staring straight into your soul and they're giving you the utmost attention. They're not looking at their phone while they're talking to you. They're looking you in your eye. They're still electrified for when they went through that big transformation. And that is what makes you intimidating. Another thing, group one, of what makes you intimidating, we have the shaman of purification here. You have gone through some type of process that facilitated spiritual growth. And it changed you. It changed you in such a way that your vibration is now different. And that is what makes you intimidating, group one. Another thing that makes you intimidating, we have Dancer of Reconciliation here, is you could have experienced early in your life, or even just in general, you could have experienced a situation or multiple situations that literally caused a soul split. And you may have had to do, soul shards. What a soul shard is when you go through different traumatic experiences in your life. A lot of shamans, or shamanic cultures say that you lose pieces of your soul. And then what happens is in our lives, we have, a soul retrieval, which could be done. And we gain those pieces of ourselves back, and we come out as the luminous warrior because we have experienced purification. And we have also experienced a reconciliation of our soul with our mind and heart. And that is what makes you intimidating, group one. Basically, you've gone through some stuff and you do not look like what you have been through. You actually shine more now. And that's what makes you intimidating. What makes you intimidating is that people think twice before they approach you, because there is something going on here. It's almost like I said, like you have a very simple look. Some of you could have a Scorpio rising. Some of you could have Scorpio in your chart, multiple placements. Let's find out some more ways of what makes group one intimidating here. Let's see. We have the Three of Pentacles. And we have the Knight of Swords. Another thing that makes you intimidating, group one, is that you're actually a good friend. You actually work with people really well. You have great ideas. But what makes you intimidating is that people know that about you. So a lot of times people won't even come to play in your face about being a friend, because they know that with the stuff that you've gone through, that's not what you're looking for. And maybe for the wrong people, that makes you intimidating. But is that a bad thing? Another thing that makes you intimidating, group one, is that you are on the move. You are on the move in regards to your spirituality and learning more about yourself. Another thing that makes you intimidating is that you have good boundaries. You have good boundaries because you can't just let anybody into the gates of the divine. I mean, you've gone through a lot of things and you've gained so much clarity and illumination, and you have lived through the purification, and you have reconciled different aspects of yourself that had been lost. That's what makes you intimidating. And even though you have gone through all of those things, you're still a good friend. And you are also not afraid to run towards your goals here. Let's get... Why else is group 1? What makes them intimidating? What makes group 1 intimidating? Let's see. We have the 6 of Cups. And we have the Empress. Let's just pop that right in there. Boom, just like that. So another thing that makes you intimidating, group 1, is that when you bring someone into your life, you want to be friends for life. You may still have childhood friends. You may have people thinking about you that wishes that they were still friends with you from childhood. So that could make you intimidating, because if someone doesn't match your energy, that intimidates them. But I'll ask the question again, is that bad? You are intimidating, group 1, because you show up as the Empress, as coming out of that warrior phase, still being the luminous warrior, but also being able to now, since you have earned all of this luminosity, you're intimidating because you are also the Empress, and you don't have to chase anybody. You can simply let it come to you, group 1. And some of you who are watching this reading knows that, and that is what makes you intimidating, group 1. Well, thank you so much for spending your time with me, group 1. That was your reading in regards to what makes you intimidating. If you'd like to receive more readings like this in your newsfeed, don't hesitate to reach out and touch that subscribe button. Greetings. If you have chosen pile 2 or group 2, this is your reading. This is a reading on what makes you intimidating, group 2. What makes you intimidating? And remember, this is from others' points of view, or you can also resonate with some of the things that the cards have to say on why or what makes you intimidating. All right. First card on the board here, we have Stand Still. Okay. What makes pile or group 2 intimidating? We have Spirit of Destruction. We have Shaman of Loss. Group 2. What makes you intimidating is you really, really know how to practice active listening with people. In this day and age where people, or we, are so distracted with so many different things that we're doing at once, what makes you intimidating is that you have this capacity and courage and depth to actually be one with someone when they are trying to communicate with you. And that could be intimidating for some people. Your presence has a stillness where you don't even have to say anything. And your presence starts to bring out this, how can I say, it's almost like your presence is like a placid lake. And what it brings out in people is it brings out this contemplation in people. Okay, we have the spirit of destruction here. It brings out this contemplation of people, in people, that makes them think about who they are as a person. What makes you intimidating is that you are a mirror to some people. One thing that I'm seeing here is that there could have been maybe a recent loss of friendship due to this. You mirroring someone or making them realize something about themselves. And that is what makes you intimidating. Another thing that makes you intimidating, group 2, is your ability to tune into your inner self. And I think that this is the thing that causes this mirroring in some of your relationships. And that is what makes you intimidating. Let's get some more cards. We have the 4 of Cups. And we have the Knight of Wands. Another thing that makes you intimidating, group 2, is that people know that they can't just give you any type of BS. I can feel with you there's been a lot of missed opportunities because people didn't want to come into your life and cause destruction because they know that you're not with that. And the missed opportunities happened because they were intimidated by you and your ability to be able to see right through them. And you can do that because you're tuned in. Another thing that makes you intimidating, group 2, is that even though you are all of these things, you are peaceful, you are grounded, you do, keep up with your spiritual hygiene. You are a very fun person, and that makes you intimidating because people want to hang out with you and you draw people to you, but they just know that they can't come at you with anything that's from left field, because you're not about that. And that is what makes you intimidating. Another thing that can make you intimidating with this shaman of loss here is that you don't really stick around for situations that you feel don't serve you or are not going to serve you in the long run. Not in a selfish way. But what I'm picking up is, in your past, there was some destruction that had to happen in a way that you were existing in relationships, which caused a standstill in your life. And that's where you acquired those tendencies to shine the light or mirror on some people's behavior. And that is what makes you intimidating, group 2. Let's get a few more cards. We have and then we have what makes you intimidating, again, group 2, is you've gone through your dark night of the soul moment, or you spend a really good chunk of your time with self-care, meditation, and that makes you intimidating to people who want to come in and waste your time. They know that you're not going to be about that. Another thing that makes you intimidating is that you're a giver. But again, people who are afraid of that are intimidated because they know that you're not going to be in a relationship that is uneven. Another thing that is intimidating about you is that you are a hard worker. And there's some type of fulfillment that you have on your own as to where you don't need to tolerate putting up with other people's situations if you don't want to. And that kind of makes you intimidating, group 2. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, group 2. If you would like to receive more readings like this in your feed, don't hesitate to reach out and touch that subscribe button. Hi, if you have chosen group 3, this is your reading on what makes you intimidating. Whoa, that's a lot. So we're not going to take all of those cards. What makes group 3 intimidating? And this could be from other people's points of view, or this could be something that you resonate with. Let's go ahead and see. Earth. What makes group 3 intimidating? Let's see. What makes group 3 intimidating? We have Hunter of Gifts. Let's pull one more. What makes group 3 intimidating? What makes group 3 intimidating? We have Shaman of Courage. Okay. Group 3, what makes you intimidating is people feel like if they're lying, you can see straight through them. It's almost as if you shine this light that is like a truth serum to people, and it's almost like a gift that you have, and that is intimidating. So if someone is thinking about coming towards you, not telling the truth, or if they are lying to you, they have this visceral reaction in their body at the time of lying that's letting them further know that they're not really getting away with anything. And that is what makes you intimidating. Another thing that makes you intimidating is that you are not afraid of your shadow side. Meaning you could be friends with all different types of people from different walks of life, and you have a very deep understanding of why people do the things that they do. And that makes you kind of intimidating. Okay? Yeah, we got the seeing through, even if someone is not lying. Let's say you have a friend or someone that comes to you and you ask them, "Are you okay?" And they say, "Yes, I'm fine." You're the type of person that knows if they're not fine. It's like you can see through, you can feel through people. If you look really closely here, right here on the forehead, we have an owl here. And that makes you intimidating because it's like you are a seer. Another thing that makes you intimidating, Group 3, is not only are you a seer, that is one of your gifts. You feel with energy. It's almost like you're not using your eyes. It's like you're using energy. And that's what makes you intimidating. Because people's mouths can say whatever they want to say, but it's not even about what you say. And what makes you intimidating is that you understand that, Group 3. What makes Group 3 intimidating? What makes Group 3 intimidating? Oh, okay. We have the Seven of Swords, moving in those shadows. What makes you intimidating, also, Group 3, is because I feel like you guys are my energy healers here, because you are feeling through people with energy. What makes you intimidating, like I said, is that there's something about the shadowy aspects of life that you are not afraid of. It's like you dance in it. This is really random, but you could be an addiction counselor. You could be a social worker. You could be a tarot reader. And because you understand energy and you have the gift of foresight and you have the courage to dance around with the shadow and play in the moonlight instead of being afraid of it, that is what makes you intimidating. You could be a skydiver. You could be someone who likes to play around in the dark, I would say, because you use your instincts a lot, and that's another thing that makes you intimidated. You're very instinctual. You can see in the dark. You're not afraid of it. It's a gift of yours. Another reason why you are intimidating is because you are also wise. We have the Page of Cups. Another secret weapon on what makes you intimidating is that even though you have all this knowledge and this power that allows you to tap into your surroundings and completely ignore what people say with their mouths, what makes you intimidating is that you still, even though you can play in the shadows, is that you're still open to new ideas and to love, and you still have a lot of curiosity. If you look at this card really close, you can see all the water here and the blue and the sky and the rainbow creeping in. So you still accept new ideas from spirit. You're not closed off. You could be a shaman. What I'm getting is soul retrievals, going into people's memories, into their trauma, and coming back with shards of their souls. You could be a shaman, or that is an energy that you give off. And that is what makes you intimidating, Group 3. Let's get two more messages on what makes Group 3 intimidating. We have the moon. See, there's those shadowy aspects again. It's like you are not afraid of it. You could be a witch. What else makes you intimidating? Again, with you seeing right through the soul of people, and with you being able to read this energy through the shadows, even if someone's lying, trying to confuse you, and things are not appearing as they seem, you can still pull someone's card and read them. And that is what makes you intimidated. Group 3. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you'd like to receive more readings like this in your feed, don't hesitate to reach out and touch that subscribe button. I'll see you later. Group 4, welcome. Welcome to your reading in regards to what makes you intimidating. Keep in mind, this can be how people view you and how they see you, or it could be the actual energy that you give off. But it is up to you to listen and see what resonates. Let's go ahead and see what makes Group 4 intimidating. We have the smoky mirror. Okay. What makes Group 4 intimidating? We have Dancer of Lies. I'm getting a message right away here. Group 4. And we have Ancestor of Boundaries. So Group 4, what makes you intimidating is that you are very, very, very in touch with your sacral chakra. And that makes you intimidating. Okay? Another thing that makes you intimidating is that it's like if people try to be anyone other than themselves around you, there is something about your presence that makes them intimidated. What makes you intimidating is you won't tolerate people who try to dance around the truth. What makes you intimidating is that you have really good boundaries. And group 4, I'm going to go ahead and say this because what I'm getting from this card is what makes you intimidating is that you may have a lot of ancestors around you and they don't play. And what makes you intimidating is you give off this energy of F around and find out. That is what makes you intimidating. Again, I'm feeling a lot of ancestor energy around you that has at times kept you protected. And if that is not resonant with you, I'm feeling beautiful boundaries around you. And that is what makes you intimidating. What makes group 4 intimidating? We have the Queen of Pentacles, and then we have the 2 of Pentacles. What makes you intimidating group 4 is that you are very, very calm. Or you give off a very, very calm energy. But what's so funny about that calm energy is that people can sense, like, look at this orange glow around the crown here. People can sense this water may look peaceful, but again, like I said, F around and find out. And that is what makes you intimidating. Yes, you are peaceful. You are in your own lane. And some people look at that and they think to themselves, I'm not going to go and mess that up. That's what makes you intimidating. Another thing that is, or that could be intimidating about you is your ability to switch up. You can switch up from this to this. Like, look at the horns. Both of them have horns. That is what makes you intimidating. You could be a Taurus. You could be any of the horned animals, the zodiacs. You don't have to be, but that is what makes you intimidating, is because you are very beautiful and peaceful on the outside. But again, we have an ability to switch it up. If you look in this smoky mirror here, you can see that there is a reflection. Two different sides. And that is what is intimidating about you. But I guess if they're in your energy and they're doing right by you, they don't have to worry about it, right, group 4? What makes group 4 intimidating? We have the Seven of Cups. What makes Group 4 intimidating? The Tower. What makes you intimidating, Group 4? Again, we have the horns on both of these. And we have this beautiful Queen of Pentacles. And then we have boundaries over here. So what makes you intimidating? Like I said, people cannot state their intentions when they knock on the door of their energy if they want to. But you can see right through them, even though they may try to confuse you with their lies. What makes you intimidating is that you're not going to accept that. This is them. If they come into your vicinity trying to cause trouble, thinking you're too peaceful, that is what makes you intimidating. Is because you look a certain way. But I don't know if people be trying you and they find out that that's not really what it is. And that what makes you intimidating is that even though you are beautiful, you still be coming with those horns. That is what I have for you in this reading, Group 4. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you'd like to receive more readings like this in your feed, don't hesitate to reach out and touch that subscribe button.